do this. Welcome, everyone, to My Little Pony, the movie. We finally have the greatest movie ever. Well, at least when it comes to My Little Pony.
So my favorite part from Lies and Pies has to be.
Okay, no,
Spoilers!
We are not doing that again. However, I would like to introduce the guest for this review. We have with us in our presence today the man, the myth, the legend, my own brother-in-law, Digipone3, aka Flash. Say hello.
What's up, y'all? That was really creepy, wasn't it? Okay.
Okay, let's go.
So
the movie starts off with a Go-Go song, and I was like, "Is that what? Are the kids still listening to the Go-Go's 30 years later?" And then some stuff happens, and then the credits. My Little Pie.
Oh my goodness! You were so detailed in your retrospective of this movie.
I know. There was so much drama and well written out conclusions.
Yes, indeed. So
I do gotta say the animation was beautifully done too. I think it was worth the wait for it. It was worth the time.
I remember some people being a little. I remember some people think it being kind of with the models for the show, for the characters for this movie, like for the trailers. And I gotta admit, I had some reservations too. But dude, on the big screen, I didn't even care because it looked great. It looked almost natural.
Yeah. So the animation program that was used for this movie is called Toon Boom, which that is the same animation program that Duo Cartoonists used for Children of the Night and
well, and for the better one, I forgot what it was called.
The Moon Rises.
Yes, Moon Rises. Thank you.
Yes. That was very, very good. So, let's start out with we now have a fully 3D version of Canterlot. It looks gorgeous.
Fabulous.
Actually, I think it looks way better than how they portrayed it in the TV shows.
Yeah. That's what I mean. We have a sense of scale to it now. You know, you see the different, like you see the varying levels of it going up the mountain.
I think they always portrayed it pretty good in the shows, like to the best of their abilities. But yeah, no, I agree. It's definitely nice. More. Yeah, it's able to see the true depthness of the city, and the like two familiar locations that we went to with Camelot and stuff. Every backdrop just looked impressive and great. There was nothing dull, even in the desert.
Like refreshed.
Yeah, there was nothing dull like in the background, or every frame just had something going on, and it's like you can definitely tell they took the 4 or 5 whatever years to make this, and they spent every second like we're talking like when they were making the original Tron. I'm talking frame by frame. They were just making sure they just made sure that there was.
They triple checked everything.
Yeah, they were just making sure there was something nice.
They were going full Twilight on this movie. Let's just say that.
Yeah, I don't want to.
Speaking of Twilight, epic faces in the beginning.
Yeah,
my goodness, I can't handle this.
Yeah, it was written. This movie was animated. It was written and directed by Twilight, but it was animated by Alex Ross. That is the only answer I can get. And yes, Zenyatta Twilight. Yes, please.
Yeah.
Embrace the OCD.
Yes, indeed. So I understand with this first scene that they have to introduce Twilight to an audience that hasn't seen, like to someone who may have not seen the show before. So I get why they had to have her tendency come through and everything like that. But Spike was so funny here. You have him coming in. I got all your charts and graphs, and it's like, I have to ask the princesses a huge favor, and I'm so scared about it. And he's just like, what you talking about? It's like I was thinking, what are you talking about, Twilight?
Yeah, no.
Talk about Willis.
The nice thing about this scene is that it's introducing Twilight and Spike and the princesses, but it's also meant to establish a sense of familiarity because, of course, everything looks and feels kind of different because it's a movie. So I feel like what they did with the scene was, okay, let's bring these new model characters into this into this into this familiar scene because we've seen scenes exactly like this, just the subject matter they were talking about was different. But it was really nice of them to be like, okay, let's ease you into the movie, let's let you get used to these newer character models and the style of writing this movie's gonna be in. It was
Yes.
it was everything an opening scene should be. It had the big nice opening establishing shots. There's Easter eggs galore, and then you
a
get
split-second Starlight Glimmer cameo.
Oh
right,
my god!
Right
with
at
her
right at the point when
chilling
Trixie is
with
letting
her,
off. Chilling with the bay.
she's with her wife, and so that was great. And the scene where she's talking. Okay, I was holding this since our review on Wednesday. Okay, you remember what I said that Cadence, while an okay character, is -5 stars? Proof. She didn't have a single line.
Except for like one or two, which was like ponies from all over have been arriving from all over all morning. I'm just like, you've almost put a run-on sentence there, you ditz.
Yeah, and then when she breaks free of like the stone or whatever at the end of the movie, they don't even give her like an relieved voice line, and I feel nerdy for noticing that.
With Tabitha and Nicole, they both have it.
Yeah, so further proves my point that Cadence is -5 stars. I don't care because it takes nothing away from the movie. I just needed to point that out because you know what? Because fuck.
She was there for magic.
Yeah, she was
there for the magic. That's it.
She was there for the special effects, and they looked good. The magic was on point. I know we're kind of scattered right now.
Seeing as like little wisps now. That was just so cool.
I haven't seen magic look that good on a screen since the last time I played Kingdom Hearts. Like the ship was fantastic.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I do also got to say, lack of spotlight for Fluttershy though.
She had God. I was telling John this off camera like a few days ago. She had like 10 lines, and like 4 of them were yay.
Yeah.
Like I was coming to realization. I was coming to realization, like, what is Fluttershy doing? Why is she even with them? Like, what's the significance of this movie?
And that's always been my issue with these specials and this movie and the premieres and finales is that they put a little more focus on, say, Pinkie Pie's involvement, which was nice.
Which is really good.
They arguably, you could say, Rainbow Dash, Pinkie Pie, and Twilight were the ones that were really carrying the movie.
And Rarity.
Rarity, yeah, she had her bits with Capper. Twilight was there. But Applejack was there. But Fluttershy was literally just there because she had to be. And I'm just like, never mind the fact that me and John are incredibly Fluttershy fanboys. It's like, I realized Andrea Libman had enough to do with Pinkie Pie, especially with that one scene with Pinkie Pie, which we're going to get to. And I'm going to want to just praise the high heavens how great that was. But, yeah, no. Who wrote this movie? Hold on. You guys
Megan McCarthy.
Fuck you, Megan.
That's how Megan's always been with those characters, though. Like, if you really look at it, like, okay, when she did Canterlot Wedding, one of the lines that Fluttershy had was like, okay, there was a line in the scene where they're all gathered around in one of the tables in Canterlot, like having a shake, and it's like, well, she was mean to one of my birds. See, rude. But he was being a little off key, and it's like that contributed almost nothing. So it's not out of Megan's like writing skills to do stuff like this.
Yeah, no,
But
I get it. It's part of her Miranda. But
She gets Spike and Twilight so well.
yeah, she does. She really does.
Like they're perfect together.
I also do gotta say for Applejack though, there were some funny moments in the movie with her, especially like in the beginning where Rarity was like, "Yeah, if you were raised in a barn, but no offense, Applejack," and Applejack's like, "No, not taking it. I wasn't really raised in the barn," and then she just goes off and just points out that she was raised in a barn.
Yeah, she's like, I was raised on a farm, which had a barn in it, which is where I spent many
Most of my formative years.
and then you have Rainbow Dash.
You have Rainbow Dash coming through.
Yeah.
It's like, thank you.
Raised in a barn.
Raised in a barn.
Yeah, this is what I meant by there's always something going on in the background. And even if Rainbow Dash wasn't coming in and swooping up the cider, that was what was in the forefront. Even in the background, there's always something moving. There's always something going. It's great. So Twilight,
for example, sorry about that. During Tempest's song, when she spun Twilight's cage, like normally you just have them stand there and continue to stare, but you saw Twilight's like moving with the spinning of that cage.
Yeah, exactly.
I noticed that. I'm like, wait, what? They actually did that too? They went out of their way with this stuff.
And the first time she sings her chorus, it looks like Scar from The Lion King because you have the shadows coming from behind her with the lighting of the lava and everything like that.
I'm sorry, you said Scar, and the first thing I could think of was the Nazi imagery that they used for that song.
Yeah.
For the Scar's like, "Das ist ein Deutschland!" So Twilight wants to talk to the princesses, and I'm being serious. She wants them to do the most metal fucking thing I've ever, like the most power metal Judas Priest, Iced Earth's Dream Evil Dio whatever thing. She's like, okay, can you guys hold up the sun and the moon at the same time, and can Cadence do some fireworks shit to make this performance perfect, because the light will be perfect. That'll show
science.
That'll show those bastards at Disney we can do fireworks too. Seriously, goddamn Disney! I don't care what park you go to, their fireworks game is on point.
Oh yeah,
but how
she's using, like, honestly, when I saw this, I'm just like, no one said there be math. I blame our schools.
Science.
I saw that, and my first thought was, there's going to be some asshole that watches this, and they're going to take pictures or wait till the movie comes out, and they're actually going to try to apply science to that, and they're going to be like, oh my god, the science actually matches up. Lol.
Although it's funny, when Slice of Life came out, you had AC Race Fest, who as an engineering major is just like, wow, that math actually makes sense in the bowling alley.
So the princesses are basically like, dude, chill.
You already have all the magic you need. So
the princesses are like, look, enough people in corporate are already pissed off at Lionsgate for trying to make this movie dead on arrival. We don't need you stressing out about this too. Yeah, apparently Hasbro's pissed at Lionsgate because they either wanted or did limited theaters, limited film reels of the movie, and not that much promotion for the movie in general, because they thought that despite the fucking empire this show has built, literally and figuratively, they thought this movie would bomb, and it's just like, no. I don't care if Hasbro gets most of its money off of toys. This movie's making its goddamn money back.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
In fact, let me look it up real quick and see how much money it's
made so far. They made number 4 in the box office when they first released last Friday.
Ew.
Wow, number 4?
That's pretty good.
From what I last saw, they didn't beat Blade Runner though, because Blade Runner is number 1. all the way, but
They came out the same weekend. What do you expect?
oh yeah, but
Yeah,
they're
and I
obviously
think
made number one.
Hasbro's pissed at them for that too. They're like, look, we're popular, but what the fuck did you want us to do against Blade Runner? But yeah,
Hey,
so
if they released this weekend, they would have been going against Happy Death Day and Foreigner.
I feel like they might have been able to beat Foreigner. Maybe not beat Foreigner, but
Jackie Chan though.
Oh wait, that's a Jackie Chan one. Okay, that's right. Well, Jackie Chan beats everything because he's Jackie Chan. Okay, so the next thing that happens is just kind of a bunch of non sequiturs and gags. I really like the gag with Rarity as she's putting all the bow ties on the stage, and it's taking her a while. And Twilight's like, "You'll never get this done." She's like, "Perfection takes time." Rainbow Dash is like, "Don't be a pussy." So she takes all the ribbons and puts them on the stage, and Rarity's like, "Dude, they all look like trash." And I remember when I watched it, every single ribbon in the shot looked different.
They even have and they
that is some
like
Stanley Kubrick shit, okay? That is
Fluttershy. They even had one on Fluttershy.
Yeah. Each ribbon looked different, and I'm just like, fuck, dude.
And if you look, when Fluttershy is like talking about talking to the singing birds, you have Angel there in the corner,
unhappy and dressed up like a bird.
Yeah, that. I laugh, but fuck Angel. So next, I'm trying to think. Oh yeah, then they sing a song, which it's funny. Right before they started singing, I'm like, oh my god, they're gonna sing a song, but it's just basically gonna be a whole bunch of "You got this, Twilight," but the song is literally called "You Got This." I'm like, son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Is that the best? Is that the best you
comparing
guys
to all the other, comparing to all the other songs though, like I've enjoyed the other songs throughout the seasons and movies and that Hasbro has been making and that, but it was never worthy enough for me to buy an album for, like any of the songs. But this one, I actually really want to go out and buy the soundtrack of it because of how well it was done, not just by composing from Daniel Ingram, but how it was done with a live audience and not done through a computer only.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, okay. According to Forbes, we had a $10 to $11 million debut weekend.
That's good enough. That's oof. Yeah.
That's pretty good. Considering that the movie cost probably, what would you guys say, 25, 50-ish million to make?
Something like that.
That ain't bad, dude. That's really not bad. Pixar movies are like 80, 90 million.
Well, that's because they're Pixar and Disney and all that. Because they're really well known and famous. And they're not a toy company.
Yeah, I mean, Hasbro's not going to get that level anytime soon. But they're catching up on DreamWorks. Watch your shit, Shrek.
Well, it's just Hasbro is going to be a lot like Nintendo. They're just going to be like a advertising for mostly toys. They don't really do much of shows. They just commonly do toys and games.
I don't want MLP to cross over with the Rabbids.
Hey, Mario and Rabbids was actually pretty good. You could
fuck the Rabbids. They ruined Rayman's career.
Oh, that's all. I'm not really comparing them to Nintendo. I'm just saying Nintendo does the same thing. You don't see much shows or movies from Nintendo due to the fact that Nintendo commonly focuses on making toys or making figurines and that, and they advertise those, just like Hasbro advertise their toys on their shows, on their movies. Heck, in that one Transformer movie, they had a My Little Pony plushie on that movie.
Yeah, they did.
To advertise that.
Oh yeah, that's right. They did. There were two of them in the Transformers movie. They had one in the original, back in 2007, and you had this little kid bringing out an old school Pinkie Pie plush. When Ironhide was climbing out of the pool, and then
I saw that.
In Age of Extinction, you had them using Transformium to have Rainbow Dash turn into a gun.
And again, also going back to the movie Hungry Hippos. If I'm assuming correctly, it's one of the games that Hasbro actually does make and design.
Yeah,
that was so funny. Hungry Hippos.
I'm like, hey, there's something there.
Hey. Bam, 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 bam. So
Okay, so leading on.
Yeah, so they sing the song.
And leading on to all that epic villain entrance.
The villain entrance. First off, we had our
punk AF. Guys.
That's what I told John. This was steampunk as shit, especially the desert town. But anyway, yeah. So we have our the first death on screen of a good guy in MLP history with the death of Brian.
May he rest in peace.
Brian, no.
Hold on, you guys are getting choppy.
So then there's then out comes Tempest. Tempest Shadow.
Oh, even before that.
I'm losing you guys.
You there? Okay, we may have a problem.
Oh, there I go.
All right,
I'm back.
awesome. So
I had to move the phone.
When Grubber comes out
great.
and he brings out the loudspeaker or whatever, you hear the transforming noise when it comes out of the box.
I thought that's what that was because I'm like, that sounds familiar. What the fuck? And it's like
Hasbro recycles noises.
Well, they did it in the first Equestria Girls movie too. When
they did.
I was in the tiny ball and then she kind of transformed it back into the pony.
Never saw him.
Yes.
So Tempest Shadow, and keep in mind, I'm the kind of guy that unironically likes characters like Shadow the Hedgehog and Reaper and Kylo Ren. So maybe I just have a type. Tempest Shadow was a fucking badass.
Oh, I already had that. I had that in my notes actually, right over here. See?
Yes.
Tempest
is badass. What's great though is you see her come out, and her first line is, "Oh goody, all 4 princesses are here already." I'm just like, Emily Blunt did such a good job.
They chose really good voice actors for it.
Emily Blunt, to put it blunt, was awesome. Just like John said.
To put it bluntly.
Put it bluntly. to get down to the point, and okay, joke's done. Yeah, no, she was great. And okay. This is the 7th or 14th time now where the princesses got their asses kicked.
But this time it actually made sense. There's an enchantment that Tempest kicks to each of them that you even see Cadence bring out her shield.
A crystal grenade or something?
And it just breaks through them, and it looks like one of those things from do you guys remember that Atari video game called Tempest?
Yeah.
It looks like that. Tempest used a Tempest on Cadence, Celestia, and Luna.
Maybe that's where they got the name from.
I just love the fact that they had to create some Deus Ex bullshit to get rid of the princess. It's better than normal, but I feel like I would be less annoyed by it if it didn't happen at least once a fucking season.
Yeah, if it was less often.
I mean, we love From Where and Back Again, parts 1 and 2, but I mean, they got their asses kicked off screen, John, off screen.
And you're sounding like a Dalek yet again.
Mother.
Anyway, so
What's the profanity?
Yes. So the henchmen, when they come down,
these guys were posing as shit. They kicked so much ass throughout this movie.
They looked like something straight out of StarCraft or something like that.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say that too.
Yeah, they were. I liked their design because they were intimidating without giving them too many defining features. So they were a simple design, but they were an effective design, and they were big too. There was really
almost uncharacteristically different from anything we've ever seen in the show thus far.
Yeah.
Because this is definitely a fantasy land, so seeing it from that perspective, it's wow, this actually makes a lot of sense that they would have something from this, like, this different of a scale, you know?
Yeah. So what? So the princesses get their taints handed to them, and Celestia tries to tell Luna to go find the hippogriffs, but she only gets out hippo, and everyone's like, "What the fuck?" So, and I'm thinking to myself, "Come on, Luna, you got this." But she gets caught, and I gotta say, this was actually a pretty, like, we're joking about it. This was a pretty intense scene, actually.
It is,
like,
actually.
There was a lot of strong chords, dark colors, a lot of sudden actions. And for the
like it was a straight out surprise attack, and they didn't know what the hell to do at the last second.
Oh, and what's funny is, like, here's the deal, ladies. I need your magic. We can do this either the easy way or the more difficult way. And you have Luna speak up and say, what are you talking about? There's one of you and hundreds of us. Oh, I hoped you would choose the difficult path. I'm just like, that is so classy villain that I was
typical villain line.
Yeah, but at the same time, we haven't heard that from a villain in a My Little Pony in a while, so it felt good to hear that.
And so, the main six are trying to get away, and then they come to a bridge, and then
their arch nemesis, the broken bridge.
Yeah, so this is straight out of this old, like, PlayStation 1 game of the Phantom Menace I played as a kid. The bridge fucking breaks, and everyone
from Twilight's magic, by the way.
Yeah, because it bounces off a shield from one of the goons.
Yeah, and, none of the winged people fly away. So
they just fall with it.
I see that as more of just, like, they were surprised by it, and I mean, the movie just kind of, like, okay, the thing with some cinematography is that I think they purposefully slowed down that to get a shot of them falling, but in reality, it took less than a second for them to hit the water, so they had no time to react.
But still, wouldn't Rainbow Dash react at a faster time because she can react at that fast of a speed due to her training?
I don't know. It serves the plot of the movie. But they fall over the waterfall. And
this movie about
because plot development.
Hashtag 8 out of 8 too much water. This movie is this movie about the talking horses is unrealistic.
Great bait, mate. I rate 8 out of 8.
Mate.
So, okay, when they first have Grubber and two of the goons come through, and it's just like, so which one of you is going to go after it? I would, but I just had a hearty meal, and if I try and go down there, I would sink. I'm just like, that is every person who has, like, indigestion ever. Like, seriously, I'm just going to sink. I can't be more buoyant than water after a big meal. But when you have the shot of them down the like down by the base of the waterfall, I was like, wow, that actually kind of looks like G1 almost in the way the animation showed it. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Snakeskin, are you there?
Yeah, no, I'm just letting you talk.
Okay. I just saw you, like, sitting so still that I was like, crap, did he freeze on us?
Sorry, man, I was buffering.
Okay. But anyway, so...
Hey, wait a minute. Where the fuck was Shining Armor?
My main question, though, is where the hell was Discord?
He could have snapped his finger and made the whole thing go away. That's the problem.
What the... that doesn't make any gut in this movie. Oh my god. This movie about magical creatures does not make sense.
Because if Fluttershy was in danger, wouldn't Discord come?
What's so funny is when you have when Tempest is about to take that ball thing to Twilight, and Derpy gets in the way.
Rest in peace, Derpy.
Yes, gets in the way. It's like, oh, you totally got her, and then the hat falls off. No, that's not her. But may you rest in peace, Derpy. You were loving to us all.
Don't you mean muffins?
Yes.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Hasbro changed the name due to that.
It's Derpy Muffins Ditsy Doo, okay? That's her full name.
Yes. Okay, like Agent Sweetie Drops.
Yes.
Okay,
Secret Agent Bod Bon.
So then we get to meet the Storm King. And I need to bring something up real quick about the Storm King. He was only in this movie maybe 10 minutes, but apparently...
Did not get much time.
Didn't get much time or development, and he was kind of a dumbass. But I don't know. Apparently, he was written really good in the prequel comics to this, and fans of that were like, what the fuck? Why was he such an a-hole? Sorry, a stupid...
I have yet to read the prequel comics. Yeah, actually, that's what I've been wanting to do next.
Yeah, apparently he was kind of badass, but
He was very childish in the movie, but it was good. I liked it. I personally liked it. And I laughed at his moments because he was like a really chill, laid-back villain, but... And then when he had the power, he was like, yeah, hey, look, this is cool.
Yeah, but what's funny is when you first meet him, they have the best fun that I have ever seen.
Yeah, this string of dialogue was great.
No, just like the pun of like them having an enchantment that acts like a cell phone. And at the end of it, you have Brubber coming in. Sorry, bad spell service. You want me to call him back?
That was it was dumb, but it was like amazing dumb. Like I love that shit. That was great.
Exactly. Equestrian's technology has advanced a little bit too much now.
And I was gonna say, I only really watched the first trailer because I was told that the second trailer is kind of spoiler-y, so I didn't really know how much Tempest's involvement was gonna be. I thought it was gonna be a kind of thing where like she just sends Grubber and some what you would call just some henchmen after them, and she just kind of like stays back in Canada and like monologues a bit, and then. People would be like, oh my god, she was such a worthless character. But no, she like goes out and like actively searches for him. I'm like,
can we say best villain so far?
Speaking of which, as best villain, Tempest has scary tracking skills.
Oh yeah. Gosh, yes. So yeah. Okay.
Hold on, John. Out of all the places that she had to choose, she chose that one same town that they ended up in. And then next to that, they were heading to the next area on her ship, and they were supposed to be going south. And I don't how can one be on the spot when they're nearby to see the ship that the characters are actually on? It's not coincidence. That's scary good tracking.
And when they get to the regular town, and Grubber's like the first town that you're talking about, the steampunk town, it's like. You think they're even here? And she looks over and there's a pink hair. Oh, they're here. I'm just like, damn, you're good at this job.
She was sniffing too, like a dog first before she looked at it.
And then you're looking at this is a plot hole inconsistency that I've seen one person say, but I honestly don't care because I don't really look at the map of Equestria. But it's where, please, how long
can a pony go?
Yeah, and then they're already in the desert, so they've passed by Ponyville, Appaloosa, and all this other areas to the southern.
They're actually in the Badlands of Equestria.
Yeah, they're in the Badlands.
Which I gotta say was really good, and I'm happy that they're finally showing the place.
Mm-hmm. They must have, although at that point you're looking at they're possibly going past Chrysalis's kingdom at that point.
Yeah, and we've never seen that far, so we get more map development as to what the places look like.
Well, you got to figure Starlight and Trixie and Discord and Thorax. They didn't have. It looked like they didn't have to go far to get to the Equestria Badlands border.
But you also understand that Hasbro does a lot of time skips all the time.
Yeah,
that's what I figured it was. I figured it was a time skip because I don't think they said it like in line or whatever. But I thought they made mention that like. At least a day. Well, she was like, give me 3 days, but there was no real, knowing passage of time. So I figured at least a day had passed since, they washed up at the river and then started walking.
Because she said, give me 3 days, because Tempest said, give me 3 days. And you didn't see much of any nightfall.
And then she gets mad at the fact that Twilight left as like going with her friends. And you have Tempest almost lose her cool right there. She's just like, get my ship ready now. Please.
When she had to
It's like,
collect herself.
wow. Just like, wow, you almost lost your cool there, but you're able to maintain your composure for the most part. I applaud you for that.
Edgy villain.
Yeah. So they
there
get
was
to that steampunk town, and oh my gosh, there is a Okay, now this is when right before Capper saves them, and we're going to talk about him in a minute. But as every other creature is coming around them, and you have that one lady that's just like, I'll pay 2 Starbucks for that mane of yours, Rarity. And when you look at her, I'm just like, that looks something straight out of G1 again. What is going on here?
it's
like
do you want to know what that scene reminded me of? Con stores.
Oh my gosh. It's the desperate vendor hall.
Yep. The vendor hall.
Hey, you with the horn. You looking to sell?
Need something, stranger?
Yeah, got something that might interest you.
So then they're just straight up talking about buying them, and then Capper comes out and he's like, "Dude, these Technicolor ponies will get you super techna sick."
Yeah, it's Pastellus coloritis.
God, actually, speaking of him, you guys were talking. You were just talking about how most of the characters look like they're from G1. Actually, that type of character that Capper is, they had those types of characters in the G1 as well.
Oh yeah,
I actually found out about that.
Was Escape from Katrina, and Katrina herself was a cat like that. Yes,
they did cat puns.
But something I want to say before we move any further, before I forget, back when they're in the desert, when Spike is talking about like, we have nothing here but sand and this rock and this cactus.
I know what you're gonna say.
I'm sorry, but he looks like Spike from Pony.Mauve when Spike is high as fuck. I'm just saying. With the coloration on his eyes there.
Oh, okay, my bad.
Far out, dude.
I thought you were gonna be like, I don't like sand.
It's coarse and rough and irritating, and it gets everywhere.
Fucking Anakin. Yeah. So then Capper does. Then Capper does a really good cover of "Friend Like Me" from Aladdin, and I like how
the tango. It's awesome.
I like how at the end of the song kind of like stops for a second so we can pay that one dude to be like, hey, yo, I got something that could pay off my debts here. You want to go get him for me? And then he walks in the room and finishes the song. I'm like, oh, you sly son of a gun.
Actually, I did some research.
He was gonna sell them into slavery. That's rock and roll.
I actually did some research about this character. Apparently, in the prequel comics, he used to be rich, and a rich aristocrat who had a really wealthy lifestyle until the Storm King came in and took it all. And now he's stuck in this big debt with the Storm King.
Wow,
that's fucked up.
I know, right?
And had a friend and other things. I'm not going to go. I'm not going to go into further detail with his backstory, but I personally say watch the comics.
At least that's a better backstory than Need for Speed The Run. Oh!
Oh, no one remembers that game. Okay, so then...
but I still kind of liked it for some reason.
Dude, fuck Need for Speed. Burn out for life. Okay, so they get to his house and they chillin', and Tempest is in town. And she kicks this one dude's ass. And Grubber says one of my favorite lines in the movie. You can tell they totally wrote that line specifically for the trailer to appeal.
Or he just improv'd.
Either way, yo, Fishman got dropped. That was
funny.
Fishman
just got dropped.
Michael Pena is hilarious. Like I followed his work for years. He's
And
really
if you
good.
read any of the interviews with him for this movie, it's like, yeah, they based my character over the two things that are like me, which is I love food and I'm vertically challenged.
So Tempest finds them, and Capra gets this nice moment with Rarity, who's like, "Oh, let me fix up your coat," and he's like,
that personally changed his mind on things.
Yeah, it's like, what's the catch? Oh, nothing. Just wanting to make you look good.
Take me to bed.
Take me to your leader now. But they escape with the windmill. And
And how? I don't know why.
At that point, when the windmill is bouncing down the hill, it reminded me of that windmill scene from Dead Man's Chest, where they're fighting on top of the windmill.
That's what you're talking about.
Yes.
Oh my god.
So then they get up to the docks and they get onto a ship. And there was a close call with Pinky because Dash grabs a rope.
Pinky almost died! What was that?
I know. You have you have Rainbow Dash grabbing a rope and everyone else tight roping on their way over, and you have Applejack looking down. It's like, don't look down, Rarity. Don't look down. Just keep moving. Just keep moving. And
yeah, which ponies can't tightrope for some odd reason.
You have Pinky almost dying. Twilight going down to save her, and she was inches from hitting the ground. And best escape plan ever. I'm just like, really?
It's like, shut the fuck up. That's like how Goofy straight up almost died for like 5 minutes in Kingdom Hearts 2. It's like, don't be a dick about it.
So
Pinky is fearless, by the way.
Oh yeah. And we get now to the birds. The birds, my God. I just mixed an Alfred Hitchcock movie with a Batman quote. What is wrong with me?
We truly live in interesting times.
Yes. So it's like, did you hear that? It's probably just the rats. If we find them, we'll eat them. And just like, oh dear Lord.
There must be some interesting rats if they talk and yell at each other.
Yeah. So,
I mean, this movie is rated PG after all.
Yep. So they're going and they're hiding. And I love how Rainbow Dash is just like, when you see one of the birds just like
scratching his rear.
Yeah, scratch his ass. I'm just like, okay, that makes sense. Then they find the box. Then they pull a box over, and it's like, hey, it looks like we got some stowaways. And it's like, what do we do? We'll cook them up. We'll eat them. What does the book say?
We'll scar them emotionally.
Yeah, we'll scar them emotionally. Or we'll clip their wings. I'm just like, wow, that's crazy. And I love how, like, with each part, they like zoom in on the character that they're talking about, or like the character that reacts the strongest to it.
Yeah.
But it's like, what does Stone King's book say? And you have the Captain Solano.
Zoe Saldana.
And you have her coming over. And I love her entrance because I love the trope in movies where you just have, like they did it with Rogue One, where you just see the feet and the legs that are like either part cybernetic or part prosthetic walking towards you. I love that. And
yeah, it's such a common thing, but it's always cool.
Yeah. It's like Storm King's book says, throw them overboard. And they're about to get him. And all of a sudden you hear this bell. It's like, all right, that's lunch. And they just plop them down on the table.
And then just smash cut to kitchen with a bunch of mush. And this joke's like a minute later, but she's like, who wants pudding? And Ray's like, there's pudding, and it's the exact same thing.
Yeah, and then you have I love how Twilight's just like, wait, what? Why are you just what? Just like
No,
it
and
was
then
so
no,
sudden.
and then Rainbow Dash is like, so you're gonna throw us overboard, but now you're having us eat. But then you stop for lunch break, and the Twilight's head just goes by, and he's like, "What the fuck you say?"
No, that was a little bit later.
Or no, Twilight's like, "Shut up, Rainbow."
Yeah,
That face.
that I, mm. But we find out that they used to be pirates, and I'm just like, wait, wait, where is Edward Kenway? We need to get him over here.
I'm bloody Welsh. Oh yeah, yeah. So then Rainbow Dash sings a song to them, and she's like, "Dude, you guys were pirates. You guys were fucking sick. Stop cucking yourselves."
Oh, so it's like you used to be pirates. We prefer the term swashbuckling treasure hunter. So pirates.
So pirates.
And then you have this like, just like, well, I know what'll help you out. And she starts singing, and Twilight's just like, this isn't time for a song. What the hell, Rainbow? Um, um, and this is one thing that I need to quickly go back to. Back right before they meet Capper, and they're still in that steampunk town. One animation quirk that I loved was when Pinky's out there. It's like, attention, can anyone tell us where we can find the queen of the hippos? And the way she's moving her head when she says hippo, I'm just like, I like how that looked. I really did.
So many little things about this movie that are great.
Oh yeah.
So then
You're a Dalek again.
Yeah, so so then when the pirates are
Nope,
pirates
still
again,
like that.
motherfucker.
It always happens like this. Just like I was telling you, we're doing it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
Now your voice is gone.
Now you're completely muted. What in the heck is going on? There we go.
So the bastard pirates are bastard pirates again. So that bastard Tempest with that bastard Capper is like, hey, it's those bastard ponies. You bastard, you lied to us. Bastard.
Oh,
and
and
so
his whole thing, when they find Capper, they're like, where are they going? Oh, yeah, they're headed east towards Black Skull Island. Yeah, that's where they're going. And it's like, so, my humblest, sincerest stuff to His Majesty the Storm King, so I'll just be on my way. Oh, once I find my princess, she'll be free to go, but until then, your fate is still up in the air. Yeah, because we're going in an airship. That was one part that I'm just like, shut up, dude. Like, really, just shut up. Just dragged over the joke and made it stupid.
Hashtag cock sleeve. Okay, so Tempest. Tempest goes on the ship. The main six get away, but Tempest sinks the fucking ship.
But even before that, she's like, I'm going to count to 3. And if you do not give me what I want, your ship is going down.
And she did not get what she wanted. Actually,
and her whole thing,
simple.
her whole thing, when she goes through and she's counting 1, 2, and 3. One of my favorite cinematography shots is one of the characters with their hand on their sword, like slowly gripping it, and you can hear that. And you have Michael Peña's character going, "Oh, so intense." But Twilight does a makeshift hot air balloon and uses Spike.
That was badass. That scene was so badass. That was, oh my god! I was just like, as soon as she did the thing where she squeezed Spike and the fire blew up the balloon and they were able to save the set, I was just like, MacGruber!
Yeah, what's up, Mike?
That was pretty good, though.
Yeah, no, that was badass.
Although the best line in this entire movie. As soon as they fall, you have Rarity scream out, "Oh, for Celestia's sake!" I'm just like, yes, that is so perfect.
I wasn't aware that my name was a saying.
Yeah, I didn't know my name was an expression.
I didn't know. I didn't know it became an expression.
I wasn't aware I was a meme.
Yeah.
Twilight, what's the difference between a dank and suck meme? I don't quite understand. That's a long, complicated story. One of them jokes about 9/11, and one of them jokes about misogyny a lot.
And both of them can be wet if you really look at the definitions for both of them.
I'm just saying, dank memes are officially an art form, and if there was ever something we needed to leave behind time capsules of, it needs to be ear-raping bass and the Grand Theft Auto San Andreas opening sound bit, because those are going to be the things we're remembered for.
After 30 years of living on, or like after 10 years of living on the streets, it was time to go home.
Bam, 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 da, dan, dan, dan. Shooting stars. Okay, so then they're walking. And then this is another thing that I really feel like they wrote specifically so they could put it in the trailer so people could be like, oh my God, that's so funny and current. It's going to be great in context. Where Rarity's just like, I can't even. I'm just like, okay, I know that was specifically written for the trailer, but that was still really funny.
Because that's Rarity.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's what I say. If anybody else did it, it wouldn't have worked as good.
Yeah. And
because it was Rare Bear, it was great.
Rare Bear. Because it was Marshmallow Pony, it worked.
Yeah.
But I mean, their whole thing was they found a map in Capper's house, and it's like, well, we're not looking for the Queen of the Hippos, we're looking for the Queen of the Hippogriffs, and they live on Mount Eris, and I'm just like, are they trying to make a God of War reference? Holy crap, yes.
Ares! Oh, I mean, Celestia! Oh my God, I need to see Kratos decapitate all the deities of Equestria. That would just be fantastic.
Yes. That would be the My Little Pony game we're all waiting for.
I'm sorry, I'm just thinking of so many ways Kratos can murder the entire MLP.
They need to make a Beth Sisters play God of War 3, and instead of all the gods that he's ripping apart, it's like
Chrysalis and Discord.
Yeah.
And Sombra. Oh my God. Like I said, I'm just thinking of all the ways Kratos could just murder the entire MLP cast. And as much as I love the show, that's really, really funny. Okay, so they get up the mountain and they're like, and they get to this really kind of creepy looking destroyed village. And they're like,
which is worse than Griffinstone.
Yeah, it's like, man, and I thought Griffinstone was a dump.
It's like if Griffinstone was Compton or Stockton or something, the Hippogriffs place looks like Flint, Michigan right now. Like, I'm just talking ghost.
Oh God.
I'm just talking ghost town. I'm talking like King 810 ghost town, okay?
Yeah. And you hear this character singing, which, surprise, surprise, it's Princess Skystar. But you see
I know. I love Ariel.
Yeah. I'm like, this is so Little Mermaid right here.
Her whole shit was Little Mermaid. Oh my God. I'm surprised they didn't write her to say something along the lines of, oh my gosh, I just kind of like want to be where the people are.
Yeah.
Look at this stuff, isn't it neat?
Yeah.
What did you say? My collection's complete.
When she think I'm the sea pony that has every shell. Shelly and Sheldon are the OTP of this entire show now. Forget Rare Jack, forget Glimtrix or whatever it's called. Shelly and Sheldon for first and second lady of Equestria, or make them assist trophies at Smash Brothers. It doesn't matter. Just one of the two, okay?
Yes. And, okay, when they first, so Pinky goes and dives in after Skystar. It's like, she's not here. And then they have that, they get flushed down into the depths. And I'm just like, they're making a Men in Black 2 reference. It's like, you would always be like, flush me, Dave, flush me. I'd be like, no, you can't quit on me now, okay? I'm sorry, that movie is just great. The dry humor in that movie, it's like, does that come, like the guy comes up and gets sucked into the wheel? Does that come standard? Well, actually, it came with a black, but he kept getting pulled over. Oh my gosh. But going back to this movie, they get like shoved into this area with the door closing, and I'm just like, okay, there is like two things that scare me, like that truly fear me, like I'm truly fearful of when it comes to movie tropes. It is when you are trapped, when you are drowning. If you're trapped and aren't able to get out, or when you're drowning.
Oh, they hit all those bullet points with this shit.
And this one was especially because they were trapped and drowning there. But like, let me give you a couple examples. I will never be able to sit through a Final Destination movie because that is my exact fear personified in a movie. I saw the clip of those two women in the tanning bed. And of course, it's a series of coincidences for that phone vibration to cause the board to fall in between the two. But like, they're trapped and they can't get out of the tanning bed. I'm just like, that scares the fuck out of me. There was also a cliffhanger episode in the show Alias. I don't know if you guys ever saw that show.
No.
It was basically this woman who worked for the FBI, and she was like big into like espionage and whatnot. But there's a scene where she's in Siberia and someone shoots the ice underneath her, so she falls through. And because of how cold Siberia is, the ice refreezes instantly above her. And the final shot of that episode is her with her hands up against the ice and looking scared. I'm just like, oh dear Lord, please do not show that to me. Please do not show that to me. But anyway, they get trapped under there.
So yeah, the main cast almost fucking dies again.
It's like, and they have these bubbles. They have these bubbles on their head. It's like, wait until the last second, Twilight. I didn't make these bubbles.
Yeah, I was gonna let you guys die.
Yeah. Well, she was about to black out herself.
Yeah, no, I know.
Then we have Skystar. And honestly, just like with Gabriella, Pinkie Pie, you have a challenger.
Yeah, you know, I feel like what makes Pinkie Pie so great is that while she wasn't the first, like back when the show came out, she wasn't the first of her kind, but she was like, you know, a new, fresh version of it. I look at Gabby and I look at Princess Skystar, and I'm just like, man, there are just so many characters, dudes too, but mostly girl. There's so many girl characters written just like this now. I'm just like, it just makes Pinkie Pie look better than most of them. Like Gabby and Skystar are fine, but like, I don't know, maybe I'm just looking too much into it, but I don't know. I see characters like those two all the time now, where they're like the super giddy but quirky, but then they're also like, you know, like really sad and lonely and stuff. And it's like, I get it. Those are the tropes of the character, but you know, but like, I don't know. Like I said, I like Skystar and Gabby, but you know, I'm not saying she was boring or nothing. I'm just saying I've seen that like a million times now in media, and it's not that it's old. It's just that I don't know. It just feels like there's so many people trying to just recapture the spirit of Pinkie Pie and everything, and you know, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But Skystar,
it's always tricky with those sets of characters because you don't want to make them sound too annoying and too what was that word? Too obnoxious.
Yeah, no, I get what you mean. That's what helped Gabby was the fact that she was a foil to 3 other characters. Skystar is like fucking practically making out with Pinkie Pie during their song, and it's like, man, you know, I was talking to John. It really felt like Megan McCarthy, who wrote this, just had a hard-on for Twi-Pie this whole movie. But I seriously thought for a second Skystar and Pinkie were gonna kiss or something, because it was looking that way, and I was just like, God damn it, don't sink my Twi-Pie ship. It barely has anything to float on already, but
oh, and also we forgot to mention one of the greatest animation things that happened in this entire movie. The Sonic Rainboom.
Oh yeah.
The Sonic Rainboom that painted a target on their ship.
Yeah, that caused the Tempest to
hey, here we are.
You know, I know we're supposed to be against Twilight in that big argument scene coming up, and she's right about and she is wrong about some of the things that she was getting mad at. But at the same time, I can't really get mad at her for the Sonic Rainbow thing, because that's what I thought too. I'm just like, you fucking asshole. You couldn't wait till the end of the movie to do it. We knew we were going to get a Sonic Rainbow. Are you seriously going to tell me DHX wasn't going to jump on the chance to make a Sonic Rainbow with this technology? Of course they were, but you couldn't wait till the end of and they showed it all in the trailers anyway, but still, it's like, oh, you asshole. But, I mean, like I said, I agree with basically everything Pinkie Pie said in her argument, but I can't, and this isn't anything against Rainbow Dash like it normally would be. I'm just like, that was stupid. Oh, yeah, so the Queen of the Sea Ponies.
Queen Novo. And they're...
AKA Bismuth, if you watch Steven Universe.
And let me just say, she sounds like the blackest character in this entire movie.
Yeah, well, next to
Captain. Wait, you guys don't know what she looks like? Okay, you ever seen Orange is the New Black?
No, I've not.
Well, anyway, whatever. This lady that plays Nova, she's a really good actress. As you guys can hear from her line readings, she's a very good actress.
What have you done?
But I feel like she wasn't really given too much a chance to shine. Like, she got the ranges her character needed to hit, but I feel like she was pretty underutilized, just in the sense of, man, it's a really good actress they got. But she's only meant to be a dick. I mean, it's Hasbro, it's DHX though, or Megan McCarthy. So they did make the point to flesh out her reasonings for why she's a bitch, and it did make sense. But overall I liked her. But then she transforms the ponies into sea ponies, and then we're like, okay, look, we need the heart of the ocean or whatever the shit is to help beat the Storm King. And she's like, the Storm King? They're like, yeah, fuck that guy. And then she fucks off. And
although the whole thing that happens here, the story of how they transform from the hippogriffs to the sea ponies, I'm just like,
well, there were no sea ponies then.
I'm getting a huge Wind Waker vibe from this. They went from being the Kokiri to the Koroks because of the sea. That makes a lot of sense now. It was an interesting backstory for them.
Just saying. I'm sorry. I fell asleep at the word Zelda.
Oh, come on.
Hey, look, man, I like playing the exact same game, too, just with a different controller every 5 years myself, but I mean...
Hey, at least it's not Call of Frickin' Duty.
You know, people want to jump on Call of Duty's throat all the time. You know what? Those games are fun. Like, they're not great, but they're fun.
It was fun until Black Ops 3, and then it was done.
Actually, I hopped off Modern Warfare 3. Came back for Black Ops 2. That was pretty good, but then the rest was just kind of No, honestly, we were talking about God of War. God of War was like way worse than that. But anyway, yeah. So the greatest character.
Twilight being Twilight, stealing stuff this time and getting caught for it, and then they all get banished back out to the land.
Yeah, because Twilight tries to steal the freaking pearl.
Yeah, so that's what I was gonna say. After we got introduced to the greatest characters in this movie, Shelley and Sheldon, they have that really nice song, and
did not sound like Hercules. Did it not sound like it came from Hercules?
Yeah,
it
did. I was gonna say, and I like songs like this where you really feel the characters bond through the song, and I really felt that the other five and Skystar bonded through the song. And I'm like, oh, that's really sweet. And Novo's like, yeah, I'll get you the pearl. And then like he said, Twilight cocks it up, and then she is rightfully, I would say, she's super duper pissed, and sends him up. And then arguably the best scene in the movie happens, where Andrea Lemon shows that she's like one of the best voice actresses ever, because she was able to give Pinkie Pie some super duper depth. Like, oh my god, I need to take a minute here to just try to let that scene wash over me like a warm California breeze on the beach. When we're not on fire.
Speaking of washing over, the one animation thing that I did not really care for in this movie was it was the water. It looked a little too hand-drawn for me. I don't know why.
Hand-drawn animation's the fucking best.
I know, but it's like, it looked like they used the water effect like 4 or 5 different times. Like they recycled the animation 4 or 5 times. That was the problem for me.
So Twilight is like, you guys are idiots, and Pinkie Pie's like, you were being an asshole. And like, oh my god, I can't.
I think Pinkie Pie has a bit of wisdom on that part.
Yeah, she was totally super duper right about it. Like,
that's what caught me off guard. I'm like, wait, what?
I mean, Megan McCarthy's also the one that wrote Party of One, so she does know very well how to write Pinkie Pie with depth. But it's like, God, dude, I'm just like you hear the pain and like the anger and shit in her voice, and when she's sad and leaves and stuff, I'm just like, God damn.
I can't talk to you right now.
Because a scene this intense really couldn't be on the show, because there's certain rules you have to follow when you do a TV show as opposed for a movie, even if the movie's for a TV show. And you couldn't get away with a scene this dramatic on the TV show just because, for a Saturday morning Pretty Pony cartoon, but for a movie like this where the stakes are higher, the whole thing just reflects all that. And it's like,
you're able to get more storyline behind it and get more in-depth drama. Yeah,
and it was great. The scene was great. Tara Strong did really good too. I always felt that Tara Strong, because she doesn't record in Vancouver with the rest of them. She records in LA. So but she's good enough to get her lines right. But I always felt there was that little bit of disjointment sometimes with the performances. But here she was just like you could tell she knew that she had to put in the extra super effort, and it was, oh my god, the scene was just great, front to back, and and then after, when she's like sitting on that rock trying not to cry while talking to Spike, I'm like,
I'm gonna personally say tears. They did a really good job with the tears animation.
It looked beautiful.
Oh my god, I haven't seen tears that good since Tears for Fears. The band. Everybody wants to rule the world. Whatever. Okay, so but yeah, that scene's great. Top 10 Watch Mojo top 10 anime betrayals. And so Spike starts talking to Twilight, and
Twilight gets caught and she gets captured, she gets taken by Tempest.
Which I don't know how that giant dude snuck up on Spike, but whatever. So then we get Tempest's song. I had a feeling she was going to sing, but Tempest's song was fantastic. from beginning to end. It was fantastic. Her reasoning for being evil felt a little too much like Starlight Glimmer to me, but
it was like that. But it had a more of a logical reason behind it, unlike Starlight Glimmer.
Yeah, I feel like Starlight Glimmer's. I don't really think Starlight Glimmer's reasoning for being evil is bad, but I feel like the way they told it could have
been portrayed in a better way.
Yeah, more thorough. But this, it showed she was a filly. She was playing with her friends, got attacked by a fucking Ursa and lived, but her horn broke off and she got a scar, and her friends like actually abandoned her. Whereas with Starlight,
they were scared of her and they abandoned her when she was most needing of them.
I know. So her thing was great. That made sense, and the song was fantastic. And like you commented earlier, the animation was great. Like when the cage is shaking, when they're doing their spiraling shots, it's just all good shit.
That was my favorite song out of the entire movie. And if they have that karaoke at Cider Fest, I'm gonna sing it because that's amazing.
Sorry for the noise.
No, you're good.
So after that, Spike goes back to the other five, and they're like, dude, Twilight got it.
And something else. When she gets taken, you see Spike actually use his flame breath to get the guy off him, and it's used later in the movie.
Yeah, so
everything is connected.
Spike equals flamethrower.
Yeah, dude. So then they're like, oh shit, we gotta go. And then Capper shows up and he's like, dude, what's up? And they're like, what's up, asshole? And the pirates show up. They're like, hey, what's up, guys? You're alive? They're like, dude, we're somehow alive. And then Skystar shows up. She's like, dude, I'm getting grounded, but let's go. So they come.
Yeah.
So they create.
Hold on. There was another really good line here. When Capper first shows up and says, I know some individuals that have cheated death and have done everything to go against the Storm King and everything on Rainbow Dash, Rarity, Pinkie Pie, and Fluttershy are all just sitting there, just like in awe.
Whoa! Hey! And then Applejack's common sense honesty.
Yeah, it's just like, now hold on now. Don't get too excited. He's just talking about us.
And they're like, oh.
That was a great line.
That was good. Okay, so then they come up. Well, before that, what's the thing before that?
Well, let me ask you guys a question real quick. What did you guys think of Skystar as a griffin versus her as a sea pony?
I liked both. I really don't have much of a favorite for everything in this movie. I don't have a favorite. I like all of it.
Sea Pony was cuter, but Hippogriff was cooler. Apparently, hippogriffs are different than griffins. So apparently, at some point in Equestria's history, there was a griffin and a pony that were feeling really frisky one night, or they were drunk, and then they made an entire new species. So whatever.
Yeah, and they made an entirely new species, and you're sounding like a Dalek kid again. This is like the third time. What the heck?
Actually, fourth time.
I hate this shit.
Anywho,
I hate this goddamn thing.
But yeah, I'm glad they reintroduced all the characters back into the fray of the battle. So here they are. They're saying, "Let's do this thing, but we need to get a plan first." And then it goes off to the whole
Trojan cake.
Yes.
Trojan cake. Yes.
Oh, by the way, my favorite bird pirate was the one who was just like the one with the lazy eye. It was just like, Brah!
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, if we're going with the whole Lion King thing again, that was your Ed of Shezzy and Bonsai. That was Ed. Okay.
Anyways, going to Storm King. Introduction of the Storm King.
Yeah. So Storm King showing up. Like I said, man, I thought Storm King was kind of cool. I liked his design, and I liked how he was just super nonchalant, just not giving a shit about all this serious emotion stuff. He's just like, whatever, I want my power. So, and when he had the power and was making cool explodey shit happen, he was looking pretty badass. So he saps all the power of the princesses. Twilight's trying to be like, Tempest, don't do this, Tempest. you're better than this, Tempest. And Storm King's
Then
like,
Tempest is like, nope, bitch, I'm gonna get my horn back.
yeah, dude. So Storm King saps the powers of the Princess of the Sun, Princess of the Moon, Princess of Love, and Princess of the Tumblr, and he's like, I'm powerful. I've got all the power of White Knight social media on my side.
And when the magic goes into the staff, I'm just like, he said, "Ooh, pretty light show." I'm like, I agree wholeheartedly. This is beautiful.
Yeah, so
Pretty
then
light
he's
show.
he's making all these crazy storms happen. He's like, I'm gonna make it rain non-binary genders and fan art. Yeah. So basically, Storm King wants to turn the world into a Tumblr forum, and then
he sees that he can control the moon and sun. He's like, oh, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, day night. I'm like, oh god, he's a child. But he's a fun child to watch.
And according to Silver Quill, that's going to be fun for the Equestrian Calendar Society to get that correctly. So
I don't even want to think about how long that took to animate, because he didn't just like, it wasn't just, oh, there's the sun, there's the moon. No, every time it switched, the shading was different, and it reflected off all the shit and the colors.
And they moved the sun and the moon to different spots, like afternoon, morning.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sunrise, sunset. He was just having a good old time. He was like, yeah, I got a new toy to play with.
Yeah, so Storm King was kind of a dumbass, but he was awesome. So the Trojan cake rolls into town, and they get through. They're able to get through. So they're able to get through because Capper's a charming bitch.
Who has infinite level of charisma.
Let me just say here, when they go through, I love how Pinky is just like really, like they're all coming in really sad, and you have Capper going up to these two. I'm like, I have a cake for a Mr. the Storm King, and it's like, all right, you're not gonna let us through. One of you better go tell your boss that he's not getting his congratulation cake on taking over Canterlot. And he turns around, and you just see him put his fingers up.
3, 2, 1. And then all of a sudden, nope, they'll let you through.
Yep. And then when they get let through, Pinkie Pie's all stoked, and he's like, "Stop looking happy."
Yeah. Applejack's like, Pinky, stop looking happy. Oh, okay.
Stop looking happy. We're at Amazon. What?
So Grubber comes up behind them and he tries to take the cake. And he takes a piece, and then there's like an eye in it, and he's like, "What the fuck?" Then they do a total Assassin's Creed stealth kill, and just yeet him.
Yank some of the cake. He's gone.
Yeah. And then they jump out of the cake, and then there's a fight scene, and that fight scene was fucking cool. People are getting their asses kicked. Spike's lighting people on fire. There's a point where one of the best parts of the movie, and it's Fluttershy's best part of the movie, where there's a guard that's like looking all intimidating and whatever, and she's like, "You seem to have a lot of tension. You want to talk about cutback? There's some fighting crap," and then goes back to that, and then he's crying, and she's like,
"Let it all out."
And she's like, "Oh, I gotta go." And there's a little thing where he's like, "No."
It's like, I gotta go. Our time is up. See you later. And you just see him going, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. He starts crying again. I'm like, I felt bad for the dude.
So then Tempest is like, okay, Storm King, you got your thing. Let me
give me my thing.
give me my thing, bro. And he's like,
I'm Tyrek and I'm gonna betray you. Ha ha. Just like how he did with Discord.
LOL. He literally lulls, and he's like, nope. And then he posts on the /B forum on Reddit. Dude, this idiot thought I was gonna give her horn back. Lol, trollolol. And she's like, what? And then there's a point to where he's about to attack her or Twilight or whatever,
and take both of them down.
Yeah, and then the storm hits, and he gets blown one way, and Tempest almost gets blown off the edge. Twilight, being cool guy Sparkle, saves Tempest. She's like, "Why?" And she's like, and
You're
she's
my
like,
friend.
"Yeah." She's like,
Friendship.
Have you literally never watched the show before? I'm the good guy. We saved everybody. We would have reformed Chrysalis if she was down. You're gonna do." She's like, "But I destroyed a whole bunch of stuff and almost killed you." And she's like, "You
had a reason to, so I forgive you."
Like, have you met Discord?
Yeah.
And
have you met Starlight?
Have you met Discord? Speaking of Discord, where the fuck is he?
Yeah.
So then a whole bunch of crap happens, and Storm King almost loses his scepter. Well, all of Twilight's friends show up. She tries to go get the scepter, but it's like stuck in a wall. So they form this daisy chain of friendship to the scepter.
Daisy chain of friendship.
And Storm King, this is where this is the only part of the movie where he looks serious. He's like, "No, the staff is mine. The staff is mine." He's trying to get it, whatever. He doesn't get it, and then the stuff crumbles. And
no. They both go out into the abyss.
Yeah, that's right.
And their whole thing is the storm slowly dies down, and you see the light shine through. And then Twilight comes down holding the staff with her wings expanded. I'm just like, behold the second coming of Christ.
I saw a Twister reference in that scene.
Oh yeah. Well, when they had to use the cannon to get through.
So then they're like, "Okay, well, I guess whatever now." So then there's a part
whatever now, we fix things.
Yeah, My Little Pony.
No,
so then the Storm King busts out of the debris, and he tries to like stone Twilight or whatever with that ball, with one of those stony balls. That's what it is. He's stone, or if we're talking RPG talk,
let's just say I'm gonna stone you. You're gonna get stoned, okay?
It's like Twilight, get stoned, bro. But then, what's her face? Tempest is like, no.
What is the Harry Potter spell for petrification? I forget.
Expectus Patrona.
Yeah, he tries to throw the Expectus Patrona.
No, that's not Expectus Patrona. Expecto Patronum is when you use light and you think of happy thoughts.
Yeah.
Expelliarmus?
Nope.
No, Expelliarmus is Expelliarmus is well, like Leviosa is levitation, but hold on, sorry. I know my Harry Potter shit too well, and I'm actually pissed off. I can't remember what Expelliarmus was, but anyway, so they Storm King tries to stone Twilight, and Tempest is like, "No, not the memes." So then she gets stoned into a dank meme compilation. It's just nothing but remixed SpongeBob themes, the Magic School Bus theme, and like I said, ear raping bass for all eternity. And Twilight's able to save her, but Storm King falls off the ledge and totally dies. Like, I know in the credits they show him bouncing around trying to put him together like Iron Giant, but
I will state this. This is the second death we actually seen in Hasbro's My Little Pony shows and or movies.
Yeah, because Sombra was the first one. This is the second.
Sombra was the first one to get exploded into oblivion.
That was on basic cable. Man, Sombra needs to come back, man. Like, I mean, I'm sure. I mean, I know he like looked super dead, but I mean, they
because magic.
Yeah, dude, magic. So Tempest is like, "Why'd you save me?" And then Twilight's like, "Dickhead, did you not hear me talk about friendship for like 20 minutes?
Did you not see what I did before you got snatched up into the storm?
Now get back in the kitchen and make me a boneless pizza." So then everyone...
No pineapples, please.
So then everyone's all stoked. Saya sings her song, and she's like, "Oh, love and friendship, blah, blah, blah."
Okay. So then you see Tempest at the back, and it's like, but I like Twilight's just like, you can still come over, having more friends is merrier, and I'm just and she's just like, but my horn, it's still not back. And it's like, your horn is awesome. Just like the pony who wields it. I'm just like, that is so
Your magic is
easy.
powerful.
Let's just say she got her shit kicked out of her by a freaking Ursa Minor.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, like, Starlight Glimmer's like, I know, like...
And she's still able to perform magic spells, too.
Mainly electrocution, though.
Yeah, dude, Tempest
mainly
is freaking sick. She shouldn't feel bad about herself at all. Oh, and then... Tempest isn't actually my name. What is my name?
Fizzle Pop Berry Twist.
That is the best name.
As soon as she said that, I was like, I had nothing to say about this. Okay.
Yeah, at that point, I was like, I'm glad the movie's over now, because...
Yeah.
Fizzle Pop Berry Twist.
So Tempest ends the movie, and then...
Her spell at the top of the sky was what Twilight wanted from the princesses.
From the princesses,
Yep.
John. Yeah, and then that's the end of the movie, and then I walked away thinking, sequel. We want sequel.
I agree with this guy. I agree with him. We need one.
We want, but for the sequel, they need to go the extra mile. I'm talking like hardcore decapitations. I'm talking steam.
That won't happen.
I'm talking hearts ripped out. Okay, have you seen 300? Do that with ponies.
Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom.
Yeah, mix Temple of Doom with 300 with Atomic Blonde, and you've got the best pony movie of all time. So yeah, how do we feel about this movie? Well,
notes went through. Nice gone. I just threw my notes away because I'm done. Let's see. I personally got to say again, was worth the time, was worth the wait. The music was phenomenally better. It was worth going not only to see once but twice. And I got to say, I'm glad most people in the fandom I've ran into a lot of people who don't want to watch the leaked version of that movie, the leaked portion of it, because they actually want to pay money to see this, because this is worth it.
I agree.
And again,
it is, yes.
The animation, I wish they could do more of this type of animation for the TV show, but I also understand it takes more time to do it like that. And plus, if it takes more time, meaning there's less shows, and I understand we still have to learn to love the Flash version of the show that we've been introduced to since 2011. But
yeah,
again, I agree with Snakeskin over here. They need to make a sequel for this. They need to continue making another movie or two for this, because this was worth it. I understand Hasbro actually stated their concern about not having to advertise enough because they thought they were not going to make enough, but they need to understand. They need to be like Twilight with their friends. They need to trust the fandom on having the word spread.
They need to be like Aaron Rodgers of the Green Bay Packers and just say, relax.
Relax. Trust us. We'll take care of it. Because funny thing. A friend of mine, it was about a week before this movie came out. A friend of mine came up and said, "Oh yeah, we know it's coming out this Friday," because he knows I'm a big fan of My Little Pony, and he was getting all stoked to tell me. I'm like, dude, I've known about this for about a year already. I'm that far ahead of knowing about this movie.
Oh yeah.
Well, they announced the movie like what, 2 years ago?
Yeah.
No, I think it was a year and a half ago.
But to personally say, I do love how they introduced the animation. The story was written really good. I wish they had more time for Storm King, honestly. And Tempest is the new misunderstood Unicorn Bay.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
And then, again, sequel, and just they need to continue on some good music like that. Like, I know Daniel Ingram they had to like push out music over and over and over and over and over again. And normally the best way to do it is just to do it on a computer, but doing it with some live recordings of people playing actual instruments makes it a whole lot better.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The way the music was able to be played because it was a live orchestra was just beautiful.
again, this is an album I will be willing to go out to purchase and listen to because of how good it was made.
Mm-hmm. So, out of 10, what would you give it?
20% cooler. Out of 10, I actually do gotta say, animation was a 10, music was a 9, and the voice acting is always going to be phenomenal. The story writing was an 8.7 because, again, they didn't have much time for introducing Storm King and all that.
Okay, so overall, the movie's about a solid, I would guess, 9.
A 9.5 mix.
Okay.
Yeah,
out of 10.
I actually have to agree with that pretty much perfectly. It's not that there were things keeping it from being a 10 necessarily, but it's just like, I guess just because I'm rating it more on a movie perspective than I am from an episode perspective. But
yes,
like as a movie going, like trying to objectively look at it as someone that hasn't seen, if someone hadn't seen the show going into it, girl or boy or whatever, or non-gender binary specific. I look at it and it's like they did do a good job introducing the characters. They didn't utilize all the main characters to the best of their character potential as we've seen them in the show.
But I think they needed more time for the new characters to develop them into it, and I think that's the case as to why they didn't use up all the characters.
They needed some more time, I think, for they needed some more time for the main villain for Storm King, I think. But I say that, but at the same time, I think of the movie and I think all the time they used, the things it was used for were done well, even though I think there were points where maybe other time could have been used elsewhere. But the things that they
thought
used
it carefully.
Good. Yeah. Like the movie was. John told me that after because he saw it before me. He said it was a very well put together, very well structured beginning, middle, and end, movie, and I agree with that heartedly, wholly, and yeah, that's a 9.5 for me.
See, and again, like how Snakeskin stated, if I were someone who's never watched the show, never got introduced in the fandom, and was invited to this movie, and I still came to it and watched it, I would have personally wanted to go home and buy all the seasons from before that have already been aired and watch it from that to the beginning, and then try to involve myself into it because that actually sold the show, not only the movie itself, but the show and the fan base as well. It sold all that.
But more importantly, did it sell the toys?
I'm sure it will. Hasbro always finds ways to sell toys, especially to littler kids. So,
otherwise, there wouldn't have been 4 Equestria Girls movies and 3 episode long things.
Yeah, and plus Hasbro not only makes toys, but they make all the classical games that we all know and love. So
yeah,
they'll be fine for a long time.
I'm just waiting until they make MLP amiibos.
So, out of everything,
they need to make a game now.
Outside of the Storm King, outside of the Storm King being kind of like meh, everything else was fantastic. Everything felt earned, especially the argument near the end because it makes sense with Rainbow Dash doing a Rainboom and Pinkie Pie constantly going crazy on everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
It made sense, and I as well give this a 9.5 out of 10.
And this is a really high. Normally, getting 9.5 out of 10 is a really high rating because I've yet to see a movie that has had a perfect 10 out of 10 rating.
Yeah, absolutely.
9.5 is something that should be proudly gained.
Yeah. So again, thank you guys so much for watching this. This was an absolute blast to do.
I do gotta say though, with Storm King and the voice, one last thing, I am excited that they actually got an actor from the Marvel universe to be part in it. That's why I got hyped over.
Which character did he do in Marvel?
Sabretooth. Wolverine's brother in the Wolverine Origins.
Oh, Yeah, you're right. You're right, Victor.
Victor.
That's awesome. That's seriously awesome. Now
That's
I
why I got
know,
hyped over.
because I was like, I recognize this guy from somewhere. Now I know. So, as with everything, that's it from me, John.
I'm gonna go and play more games with my brother.
Yep. And Snakeskin, I'm not sure what's going on.
He's muted himself and I think turned off his camera.
Yes.
He didn't like us anymore.
No. He left the fandom. So, yes, have a wonderful day, guys. And we will talk to you guys later. Peace out.